What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. So, what we're going to talk about, and we're going to do a demonstration, is let's make sure everything's centered up here. Let's see, we're good to go. Okay, so what we're going to discuss today: S30V, D2, 14C28M. Okay. Now, the reason for this video is because all you hear about is the S30V is some unbelievably chippy steel. Like, we hear it all the time. You'll see videos on it. Is S30V still a super steel? Or you'll get all the hate. S30V is not relevant anymore. Is S30V a good steel? You'll see questions like that all the time, and then you'll see endless comments from parrots that just go around and repeat Laren's list about how S30V has no toughness, and it if you even look at it wrong, it'll chip the hell and back. Okay, so we're going to disprove that, or no, let me rephrase that. We're not going to disprove it, because maybe it will. So we'll see. Now, in my experience, S30V is not a chippy steel. Spyderco Golden Done S30V is damn good. I will take it over S35VN or S45VN 10 out of 10 times. That's just facts. In the production knife world, Spyderco S30V, yes, I will happily take it over any S35VN or S45VN from any production company, including Spyderco. You know, people really hate on S30V, and like when the Bodacious came out, for example, there were endless comments on Reddit and anywhere you looked that why would they bring out, that's such a cool new knife, cool new model. Why would they bring it out in S30V? That just kills it for me. Or the Military 2 when they rolled it out. Why would they bring it out in S30V? S30V, that price for S30V, yeah, I wouldn't even touch that. That's just not a good steel anymore. Okay, I hate to tell you, Spyderco sticks with S30V and has put it on so many models for a reason. They know how to work with it. They know how to put out a consistently good steel, and it performs very well. That's why they put it out on new models. Even through all the people complaining, it is a good steel. So, all right, go ahead and put in your what you think's going to happen. Here we have a carabiner. What it's made out of, probably some aluminum, some aluminum alloy. Just your typical $3 carabiner. But, it is a metal. We have D2, 14C, S30V. We're going to abuse these edges. Now, each one has a fantastic edge on it. They're all razor sharp. This has got a super toothy edge on it because that's how I like S30V. That is a really, really aggressive edge, but that's how S30V performs. You want it to perform good, put a nice aggressive edge on it. Anyways, they're all very sharp knives. You can see that. Say hey to Cycloptopus. Something my daughter made. I put it in a video the other day, and a couple people have said something about it. And one person's like, It needs to be in every video, and he should give the final nod on any knife reviews or anything. So Cycloptopus will be a permanent fixture on my videos, and it's super cute. My daughter made it for me, and I love it. And come on, man, how perfect is that name? Cycloptopus. I love it. So go ahead and put in your expectations. What do you think is going to happen here? You think the S30V is going to chip badly? You think it's going to handle it easy? What about the D2? What about the 14C? Now, there is a reason why I picked these three knives. This S30V's geometry, it's right at about 20 thousandths behind the edge, and that's at 15 degrees per side. This 14C, right at about 20 thousandths, 15 degrees per side. This D2, right at about 20 thousandths, 15 degrees per side. This one might be slightly under 20 thousandths. Yeah, 18 to 20 thousandths. It's in that range. Up here, it's around 20 thousand. So, the geometry is all very, very similar. If you go by internet lore, S30V is going to catch hell with this test right here. If you go by internet lore, D2 is going to catch hell with this test. And 14C is going to do fantastic because it's such a tough steel. It's such a tough steel. And it is a tough steel, a very, very tough steel. But I say this all the time. Charts, it doesn't matter who they're from, only give you a general idea and can only be used to develop a general idea. They are not factual. Laren's charts are not factual to any of these knives because the heat treat's different. Okay, so we've gone through that. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, oh, S30V is tougher than 14C or nothing. No. 14C is a damn tough steel. No doubt about it. But those numbers don't always directly transfer over to use. Like, I'm going to be careful. I'm not cutting myself doing this. I wish I had something that's a little bit long. I wish I had a brass rod. Don't. So we're going to start off with this, and I'll be careful. And if I cut myself, Cycloptopus will laugh at me. Where are we at? We're 8 minutes in. Damn, I talk too much. I got to learn how to stop just rambling and get to the point. Get to doing. All right, D2. I'm going to do the cutting right up here where it's right at around 20 thousandths. Back here, it's probably around 18. Right here, it's around 20. So, let's see what it does. I need to, let me mark an area where I'm cutting at, actually. That way I can keep it within that. We're going to go from here to here. We're going to keep the cutting within there. All right, let's do it. What do y'all think is going to happen? Tell me. All right, let's find out. I'm going to cut in and pry out. Can y'all see? All right. We're not going to look at results yet. D2, 14C. We're going to go same place up in the belly. Actually, let's give the D2 a little more. I'll do a little more cutting on each. I should have counted. Damn it. All right, I don't think that was 10, or we're going to go ahead and call that 10. So 11, we'll call it 10 now. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I'm pulling out of that pretty hard. All right, 14C. And this is verified to be 14C. I know it is. I have checked it. It passed the XRF. It is 14C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Oh my God, this blade's gonna literally chip in half. It's gonna chip so bad, I'm gonna lose all this up here. This is such a nice knife. Why am I gonna do that to it? S30V chips so bad. And I'm gonna work this one even harder. All right, you can see no edge deformation. It's a fresh edge. Ready? Whoa, that almost cut me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sorry, Cycloptopus. 15. All right, that's how much steel or whatever this material is we removed. There's steel everywhere. Sorry, Cycloptopus. All righty, the D2. Let's see what she looks like. Let me stand up. Excuse me. That's probably... Okay, we do have a little bit of edge damage. Not much. Not much. Right there. I don't know if that's material. No, I don't even see. There's a little bit of edge damage. Very little. Okay. See the 14C. Looks absolutely perfect. Teeny bit of glinting right about here. See it? Right there. I don't see it now. Right about here. Very little, very little edge damage. Oh my God! Now for the one that's going to be just astronomically bad. teeny, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. A teeny bit of edge deformation. Right about here. See it? Right there. Or that could be material stuck in it from the clamp. I can't tell. I don't want to cut myself. Hold on. Yeah, zero glinting. Now let's see how they cut. See if I can get it to. No, I don't feel anything in the cut. No. We're good. Damn it. No. I'm push cutting and there's no snags. I can't, no. There's zero edge damage. I cannot feel anything. All right. Excuse me. All right. So let's check it, Mr. Cycloptopus. You see any? All right. Let's see how the D2 is. I feel a hang up. There is a hang up. Very little though. But there is a hang up. Right there. Very little. That will strop out, no problem. Yeah, there's just one little hang up. Just one. All right, let's see how the 14C did. Oh, I do feel a little hang up on this. There's a teeny little hang up. I don't know, maybe not. Hold on, let's see. It did feel like there's a little teeny catch. Yeah, I think there's a little catch right. I don't know. I'm going to say no because I can't reliably get it. Feels like there's one there, but it might just be. See, I didn't feel it that time. Yeah, there is a little catch. I can definitely feel it, but it's very minor. Yeah, it's very, very minor. You really have to work to be able to feel that catch. You have to really try. It's right about here, but it's basically none. See, it's right there. Yeah, it's about right here. See if we can see it. I don't see it, but it's about right here. There. That's probably it there. Okay. So it's very minor. Very, very minor. Out of these, I hate to say it, and I pushed way harder on this S30V. I feel no edge damage whatsoever on this. It looked like there's a little bit visually, but I cannot feel any. No. If it's there, I sure as hell can't feel it. Yeah. I'm going to say right now, S30V killed it. 14. I mean, they all did. They all did. So you see, I mean, there is teeny little bit of damage right there, but not enough to create any glinting. Yeah, there's a little bit right here, but it's nothing I can really feel. I mean, I can feel it on the paper, but that's still a beautiful edge. So see, you really can't, if you go by those charts, Cyclopus is winner. Whoops. Cyclopus is winner. If you go by those charts, then you would assume, well, S30V is just super fragile. And it's not. Let's see. I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Let's try RPM 9. Because I've had some RPM 9 that's been pretty decent. I've had some that's crazy bad, like that Acacia. This one has been a decent knife. So let's see how this performs. Now this right here is probably like 22, 23 thousandths. So it's a little thicker. And I believe this is at 17. I believe this is at 17. So, 34 inclusive. Let's see what it does. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't mark it. All right, we're going to mark. This is where I'm going right here to here. We'll stay in there. That was 3, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Okay. There's where it should be. Let's see what this steel looks like. Oh, look at that. Oh, sorry. That was just some of the carabiner. There's definitely a little deformation. And of course, this was a super sharp edge. I'll show you where it's not, where I didn't cut at, but it's super sharp edge. Super sharp edge. This was me testing to see how RPM did with a polish. And it does get crazy sharp with a polish, but it does not perform very good with a polish. Focus. Damn, I did have it focusing pretty good for y'all. Whoa. That's just that carabiner on the PVD. Love you, son. Yeah, there is some deformation. You can clearly see it. So yeah, I mean, this is probably the best RPM 9 of any of the knives I've used. In it, this has been a pretty good piece of steel. So yeah, there is a little, but teeny little catches. It's very minor. There is one right there. But that'll probably strop right out. Yeah, it's very minor. So, there's a couple little catches, but they're very minor. The point of this video that you can't go by what your steel boys on Reddit and in the comment sections, what they set and preach. The charts, Laren's charts, other steel charts, they have a place. They absolutely have a place. They are good to have a general understanding of what, for general comparisons, they're okay. But that's it. Those charts are not matter of fact. They are, you can use them to say, okay, well, this knife is in 7 or 8 CR, and this knife here is in S90V. The S90V should definitely outcut the 8 CR. You can use them like that. And the 8 CR should be more edge stable and have more toughness than the S90V. You can use them that way. But you can't go, oh, this knife, pretend this isn't something else. This right here is S45VN. And this right here is Vanax. So this knife is going to do this, and this knife is going to do this, because that's what the charts say. You cannot do that. Those charts are only relative to those pieces of steel with that heat treat at that hardness, at that geometry, at that edge angle. That's it. It applies generally to the steels, but only generally. It does not apply. How do I say it? Okay. If you take the chart and it says we're just going to steel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Let's say steel 1 has edge retention of a 9 as edge retention, and steel 1 has a edge retention score of 9 and a toughness score of 5 or 3. 3. So 9 and 3. And steel 2 is an edge retention score of 7 and toughness 5. You cannot take that piece, steel number 1 and steel number 2, that is on this factory heat treats in some random design that has far different geometry than what the test samples was, and directly correlate that to the other knives. You cannot do it. The test knives have a specific geometry, edge angle. He's heat treating them with a custom heat treat and at specific hardnesses. So each piece is very well heat treated. The knives are a specific geometry at a specific edge angle and at set hardnesses. That's why some have, different places of edge retention. At 60, it has this edge retention. At 63, it has this edge retention, like that. Those numbers only apply to those specific test samples. and that's it. Now, as a general idea, yes, you can say, well, chart says that knife 1 had a score of 9 edge retention and 3 toughness, and knife 2 had 7 and 5. So technically, steel number 2 should be tougher but have less edge retention. You can use it for in general like that, but that doesn't specifically mean that that is what's going to come out in the real world use. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of you guys that watch me, y'all are steel guys and y'all actually know. So this video, or what I'm talking about now, isn't really for y'all. Y'all already know this. It's for the people who run around and all they do is shout out Laren's lists, how this steel scored on Laren's list on every steel video, on every knife video out there about each steel. That's why I say Laren's lists are not a good thing for the knife community. They're a very good thing for people that know. But the people that don't know, and they don't understand steels, they don't have much experience, that's the people that those lists are not good for, because they buy specifically based on what that list says. Oh, I want the most edge retention. It says this steel has this edge retention, I'm going to get that steel. And in a lot of cases, that does not ring true with the knife that you go buy, because those numbers only directly apply to his test samples. That's it. And everything else, you can only use it as to get a general idea. Like, right here. If you go by Laren's, well, if you go by what people say or Laren's list, this should have done the best. This should have done, I don't know if S30V rates is lower than D2. I believe it does. Yeah, I'm sure it does. On Laren's list, S30V is going to rate below D2 in toughness. And, of course, 14C is going to be the best out of them. It's in toughness. But when I did the paper cut, I feel absolutely no edge damage whatsoever on the S30V. The 14C has a little teeny catch, and the D2 has a little teeny catch, and this has a little teeny catch. Now, if I was, and I'm going to tell you right now, whatever this is, when I'm twisting that out of it, it's putting every bit of as much load as a brass rod would. I'm putting a heavy load on that. So now, if I went out and really beat on it, yes, this 14C is definitely going to resist deformation better than this S30V will, 100%. But they're small pocket knives. You're not. This is far more than what the average person is ever. What I was doing right here is far more than what the average person is ever going to do to one of these edges. So the next time you hear somebody tell you how chippy S30V is, here, okay? Let's see. I need to be on. I believe that little spot right there, I believe is actually some of the material from this, because I don't feel anything I don't feel any catches when I'm cutting. Do I have a piece of paper? Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's give it a little more. Keep in mind, this was a very toothy edge, as you can see by the scratch pattern. No, I feel no catches. No. If there's a catch, it's too small for me to feel it. I'm going to say there's no catches in that. You know what? Y'all aren't going to be able to see it, though. I'm sorry. I know this video is getting dragged out, but yeah. The people that are really into this are going to stay and watch. Doesn't matter how long it is. Okay, let's get up to where the... Okay, let's see. Try to get it to where... I'm sorry. Oh, it's showing for y'all. Good. Normally it blows out the... Let's get to where the... Alright, there's the... Alright, we're in between the lines. Oh, there's a... No, that's just part of the scratch pattern. That could be a microchip, possibly. Yeah, it is actually. Now, so there is a teeny little microchip right there. Hell, I think that's outside the line, actually. I think that was outside the line. I do believe this is part of the scratch pattern. All right, let's see. Now I'm going to go from the back line to the front line. Let's see if we see any chips. That right there, I believe, is just a piece of the material. Let's see, knock it off. That's a perfect looking edge. I see no... This thing is not easy to use on this little small blade, to be honest, because it... Anyways, the next time somebody tells you that S30V is such a chippy steel and, you know, that it's not any good anymore, blah, 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 well, you'll know that that's BS. Let's see what this RPM 9 looks like under the... Okay, there's that edge damage. But I believe some of that is just the actual material stuck on the edge. Because there was a little catch. I could feel it when cutting, but it's not bad. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you see it right there. That spot that looks like I can't touch it. I'll move the camera. Well, let me see. Let's get to it. Yeah, you can clearly see there's little teeny rolls. Just edge damage right there. So there is some minor, very minor edge damage here. Let's see what the D2 looks like. They were. Yeah, I don't see any. Well, yeah, you can see there's very slight damage. Very slight. Yeah, that's probably that catch I'm feeling right here, right there. But yeah, so D2 had little, and let's see what the 14C had, because there's a very minor catch on this. Where's the lines? Okay. Sorry. Okay, you can see some of the, there's a little teeny catch right there. There's a little damage. Come on. There's a little damage. So yeah, there's a little damage to this 14C. Yeah. So if you're being told that S30V is some terrible ultra chippy steel, and that, you know, it's just not a good steel anymore, and that it's not a super steel, it's, you know, spend your money elsewhere, don't listen to that. Do you really think Spyderco would still put out S30V on their models if it wasn't a good high performance steel? If they didn't know that they're doing good work with it and making a high performance product, if they know that, that's why they continue to work with it. It's a great steel. Don't let anybody tell you that S30V is a crap steel. That's just wrong. Now, I will say, Spyderco Golden Colorado really knows what they're doing with S30V, and what I'm saying in this video is targeted at Golden done S30V. Benchmade, for example, their S30V, it's spotty. If you get a good one, like say you buy a bug out in S30V, if you get a good one, it's a great knife. It's a good solid piece of steel, performs great. But there's also some likelihood that you'll get one that has chipping problems. That's just the way it is. You're taking that chance with Benchmade. I have some Benchmade S30V that's very good. I have some that's chippy. That's why I don't buy Benchmade S30V anymore, because about out of 5 or 6 S30V knives, about 3 of them had chipping problems. And even after I'm 5, 6, 7 edges in, so I know it's just not, you know, overheated edges, I've removed plenty of steel and I still have chipping issues. So it's something with the heat treat itself. With Golden, I own a lot of Golden S30V, and I have never one time had a piece that didn't perform excellent. So now I do want to say this with Benchmade S30V. That's the last piece I bought was a couple years ago. So they may have corrected that now. Their S30V now may be solid. It may be consistent. But say like 3 years ago and back, that's when it was kind of spotty. You know, almost, I bought one, it's a good one. I buy another one, it's not a good one. It was almost a 50-50 chance. So maybe they corrected that. I don't know. But when you hear people talking shit about Spyderco done S30V, Don't fall into the BS that they're saying. Cycloptopus tells you S30V from Spyderco is a great steel. Listen to him. He knows his shit. Y'all have a good one.